Palm Bay's legal exposure is growing rapidly. When the Palm Bayer published our litigation status update last October, the city was an active defendant in 5 federal lawsuits. 4 months later, that number has grown to 11. Since October, 4 new lawsuits have been filed against the city. 1 dismissed civil rights case was reinstated by a federal appeals court. 1 equal pay complaint quietly transformed into a massive 5-count discrimination case, and a sanctions hearing in another major case is set for March 4th. A note on sourcing. The facts described here are drawn from court filings. They are allegations, and no court has ruled on the merits of any active case described. Let's look at the new cases filed just since October 2025. First, a case involving an 88-year-old resident, Joseph P. Russoniello. He alleges he lost his condo at the Palms through a fraudulent foreclosure involving a forged deed. The city's role in this is specific. On October 27th, Palm Bay shut off Russoniello's water at the request of the man claiming to now own the apartment. Russoniello told the city a landlord cannot legally order a tenant's water turned off, but the city disagreed and refused to reconnect him. He is now suing Palm Bay for breach of contract, emotional distress, and harassment. He is representing himself. Next is a federal case filed by Bryant Lawrence Falconberry Ruiz regarding a traffic stop last March. According to his complaint, an unmarked car followed him on Waco Boulevard before Officer Kevin Smith pulled him over without stating what traffic law was broken. No ticket was ever issued. When Falconberry Ruiz asked for a supervisor, he was told it was now a criminal investigation and was handcuffed. The complaint alleges that what happened next was worse. He was transferred to Texas on a probation hold that had legally ended in 2022. Despite having documentation, he was held for 5 months. He lost his job and his driver's license. He is suing the city for unlawful stop, false arrest, and allowing this pattern to happen. The third new case involves Christopher Steelman, who was arrested after defending his own home. In December 2022, a neighbor, described in the complaint as drunk and aggressive, swung a baseball bat at Steelman's guests. Steelman used martial arts training to restrain the neighbor until help arrived. According to the complaint, Palm Bay police arrived using a strategically silent approach. Despite witnesses confirming the neighbor was the aggressor, officers drew guns on Steelman and arrested him for battery. The state pursued charges for nearly 2 years before dropping them. Steelman is suing for false arrest, citing Florida's Stand Your Ground law. The newest lawsuit, filed just this February, involves zoning. Developer Dr. Craig Deligdish owns land in Bayside Lakes, where he wants to build a self-storage facility, which is expressly allowed by the property's covenant agreement. The complaint alleges the city blocked the project at every step, denying zoning requests and refusing to review required maps. The lawsuit argues that other developers in the same area received approvals that Deligdish was denied, alleging the city is applying requirements unequally. Now let's look at major updates on cases we previously reported. The Scott McIntyre civil rights case regarding an alleged false arrest while riding a Segway had been thrown out by a trial court. However, on December 19th, a federal appeals court reinstated nearly the entire case. McIntyre has since replaced his local attorney with 2 powerful national law firms, Holland & Knight and Gibson Dunn. Trial is now set for March 2027. The Pedersen wrongful death case is the most active right now. A critical hearing is confirmed for March 4th in Orlando. The judge has ordered the plaintiff's attorney, Ariel Lett, to appear in person to explain conduct that led the city to file a motion for sanctions. The case centers on Jeffrey Peterson, who died after being taken to county jail instead of a hospital during a mental health crisis in 2020. He was pepper sprayed while handcuffed at the jail and later died of resulting medical complications. Trial is set for this August. The case of Lisa Enlow, an unprotected police informant, is now in serious danger. The updated complaint details how Palm Bay officers recruited Enlow in 2019, promising her protection in exchange for testimony in a theft investigation. The complaint alleges that promise was broken. When shots were fired at her home in 2020, police allegedly told her to stop complaining. The Enlows, who are representing themselves, are now facing a city motion to dismiss the entire case, arguing they missed the filing deadline. Furthermore, the plaintiffs missed a court deadline on February 20th, putting the case in jeopardy. Stacey Forish's lawsuit against the police department has expanded significantly. Originally just an Equal Pay Act claim, it is now a 5-count discrimination case. Forish, an experienced officer, alleges male officers with less experience were hired at higher pay rates. The updated complaint adds allegations of age discrimination and claims she was forced out of her job in November 2024. The city has filed an answer defending the facts, rather than a motion to dismiss, meaning this complex case is heading toward a February 2027 trial. The case of Karen Maloof, who was arrested at an Atlanta airport by federal agents based on a warrant from Palm Bay officer Cody Spalding, continues. Maloof had never been to Palm Bay and was a victim of mistaken identity. While the city has been dismissed from the suit, the case continues against Officer Spalding individually for malicious prosecution. Trial is set for this November. In brief updates, the lawsuit challenging Palm Bay's policy restricting public comments at council meetings is still pending, with motions from both sides awaiting a judge's ruling. And an appeal by residents Clint Mullinax and Angela Pittman regarding a code enforcement fine for a driveway has seen no response from the city in 4 months. The city's legal calendar is filling up fast. Residents should keep an eye on the upcoming Pedersen sanctions hearing on March 4th and the full trial scheduled for August. Stay tuned to the Palm Bear for continued monitoring of these cases. Stay connected, stay informed. This is the Palm Bear.